You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5.
Good morning. It is 5 o'clock, May 2nd. I'm Ray Collins.
And I'm Stephanie Webb. Thanks for waking up with us this morning.
We begin today with some breaking news to report. It seems an argument ended in gunshots early this morning in Newtown.
ABC 7's Marla Spence is live on the scene right now on 19th Street. Marla, what do you know about this so far?
Good morning, guys. We are following breaking news this morning. I'm on 19th Street near Central Avenue in Sarasota. This house behind me is where investigators and police are trying to figure out what happened in the shooting. Now, investigators, like I said, are on scene right now. They arrived here a little after 3 o'clock this morning. A spokesperson with the police department tells us an argument led to that shooting inside that home. And we're told both the victim and the shooter are familiar with each other. Right now, the victim is in the hospital and is expected to survive. Right now, investigators are talking to neighbors in this area, trying to figure out what exactly happened and if they know anything else about this shooting. This is a developing story, and once we find out more information, we will bring you the latest. Reporting live in Sarasota, I'm Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Marla. Additional details on our app. You can find it under My Suncoast or under WWSB.
And right now it's time to head over to First Alert meteorologist John Scalzi with a look at the weather. It's going to be anything like yesterday, which seemed kind of perfect.
It was gorgeous out there. We were looking at low relative humidities and again some very warm temperatures with daytime highs coming in near the 90-degree mark, and I think that's exactly what we're going to see again today. We have a few fair weather clouds over on the other coast, a general zonal flow, meaning from a west to an east flow aloft, taking the clouds with them. Later in the afternoon, I think we'll see a few fair weather clouds building at the lower levels across the region, mostly in inland areas riding on that general easterly wind flow. We don't have much in the way of cloud cover across our current area, across the region currently, is what he's trying to say. What that means is plenty of sunshine as dawn breaks, taking our temperatures rapidly into the 80s this afternoon. Not much in the way of a rainfall chance either, though Miami might get a sprinkle or two, so will the Florida Keys, but high pressure keeps us dry. 65, Lakewood Ranch, 64, Sarasota, Bradenton the same, Perry 63. Inland temperatures a bit cooler, warmer near the coast. We'll have the complete forecast for you coming up in just a few.
All right, John, talk to you soon. Checking First Alert traffic now in Manatee County. So far, so good. No slowdowns outside. A little congestion there on 64 eastbound, way out toward Lorraine Road. So be aware of that if you live out there. Let's check the northern half now of Sarasota County. A couple red spots to speak of. First off, you'll notice there on 301, there's a congestion spot southbound. There actually is, I can testify firsthand, there is some construction going on the road, a paving project right there at the 41-301 split by the car dealership and the supermarket. So the traffic is reduced to one lane in both directions on 41 after you get past the 301 split there near downtown Sarasota. Let's check the final maps now to the south, and just some minor delays already on 41 in both directions. New developments this morning in that viral shark dragging case. One of the three suspects is off the hook. The state attorney's office dropped both aggravated cruelty to animal charges against this man, 23-year-old Spencer Heinz. Heinz's attorney says while Heinz was on the boat, he was not involved in the act. This video went viral on social media last year, showing 4 men on a boat dragging a 6-foot black-tipped shark. It happened near Egmont Key in Hillsborough County.
It's clear that there were different roles among the 4 men that were in the boat. There was nothing Mr. Heinz did at all that contributed in any way to any of the activities that were charged in the case. Nothing that constituted a crime.
The other 2 men facing charges, seen here, Michael Wenzel and Robert Benak, are back in court June 13th. Both are still facing felony charges of aggravated cruelty to animals.
Right now, a manhunt is underway. The suspect of an attempted sex assault in South Florida is still on the loose this morning. Police say he's attacked multiple women in Miami. Now, in this video, you can actually see the man force his way into a woman's house by the door. Now, she was able to escape. It says she is afraid to ever leave her home, while the man, identified only as Tavares Conti, is on the run.
2 local students have thought of a different way to get the state's attention when it comes to school safety. 12-year-old Anna Siegert wrote the words gun control above every answer on a recent state test she took. 11-year-old Catalina Siegert did the same. The two want to make it clear they want to focus on their education and hope their teachers understand why they chose to rebel.
I hope they respond by saying this is an issue and it needs to be talked about. And obviously I have a strong feeling about this really needs to be talked about. It's an issue that's going on, and I hope they see it like that.
I hope that she likes what I did, and I hope that she can make a stand because her safety matters also.
And Anna added that even if the state marks her answers as wrong, she's okay with it because she took a stand in something she believes in.
Happening now, one of the main roads through Venice still shut down as of this morning. A massive water main break on Monday closed Pine Brook Road. Now, while drivers figure out a new way to get where they're going, the city is still trying to figure out how to pay for those repairs. Now, the contractors who are doing the work could be responsible for those repairs.
No one wants to pay any more than they have to. What we're all working to determine is who is going to contribute toward the cost of repairing the break and repairing anything else that was damaged, in this case Pine Brook Road.
Now the work to repair that road is continuing as of this morning and could take a few more days.
Plenty of talk, but no decision last night about whether a political event can be held on school grounds this summer in Northport. The Freedom Festival at Northport High School is an annual bipartisan event on the 4th of July. It features a variety of political booths. But now some feel a school campus is no place for a political event of any kind. One plan is to change the policy's language to allow events when school is not in session.
We're asking the school board to include a phrase during school hours that political activity is prohibited.
It's an infringement on all of our rights, and it needs to be addressed and changed. It's unconstitutional. And it's despicable.
I think it interferes with education. And you could say it's part of education, but it isn't, because people are there to promote themselves. And I'm sorry, I just think it's wrong.
The long-term school policy on this will be discussed at an upcoming workshop.
Right now, a nationwide nursing shortage is finally affecting hospitals here on the Suncoast. Sarasota Memorial Hospital says they are always making an effort to ensure that their hospital is fully staffed. And now they're doing it with the help of the University of South Florida. This is pretty interesting. The Sarasota Manatee campus just launched a new 2-year pre-nursing course that starts in the fall. Students currently have to go to USF's Tampa campus to be a part of it. But it is an important new program for our area because statistically, we have twice the state average of residents 65 and older who need the most intensive medical treatments.
Our population is such that they count on us as an organization to really care for the community, and that's really the biggest part of our mission, is to be that resource for the community.
The good news, Sarasota Memorial Hospital is currently hiring 50 registered nurses. If you are qualified, there is a link on our website, mysuncoast.com.
Happening today, President Trump will attend the swearing-in of Secretary of State Mike Pompeo. This will be the president's first visit to the State Department since taking office. Here's Pompeo's reaction.
Important day for the president's first trip to this important place, and I'm looking forward to being there with many of you and having the honor to have the President of the United States do my formal swearing in.
This will take place at 11 a.m. this morning, and we'll stream it live on our website, mysuncoast.com.
And now to a developing story. Did President Trump write his own letter declaring himself in, quote, astonishingly excellent health back in 2015? Well, that's what his former doctor is now alleging. Dr. Harold Bornstein says that those words came directly from Trump's mouth, not his. Bornstein says that Trump dictated the letter to him. It was eventually used to boost his candidacy for that eventual presidential run. It contains phrases like, quote, his physical strength and stamina are extraordinary, and his blood pressure was, quote, astonishingly excellent, which are similar to how Trump himself speaks. Bornstein later issued another letter written in a more business-like tone with information like Trump's height, weight, and prescription medication. Now, yesterday, he also claimed that Trump's ex-bodyguard raided his office and spent about 30 minutes removing all of the president's medical records at the time.
5:09 right now, still heading Good Morning Suncoast First Alert Traffic and the latest on the special counsel's investigation into Russia's role in the 2016 election. Is a subpoena next for President Trump?
And coming up a little later in the hour, was it a tornado? Ooh, sure looks like it on this video. Incredible video of what may be a touchdown in Kansas. We'll have that for you.
And happening right now, we are tracking some breaking news that happened overnight at 19th and Central. This is a live shot of the crime scene. Sarasota police are there, as is our news crew. An update minutes away here about a argument that appeared to escalate into gunshots. Details from that next, but first, a peek at the forecast from John Scalzi.
Yeah, it looks pretty good for us today. Kind of a repeat of yesterday. Daytime temperatures will continue to climb up to around 89 for a daytime high, 87 by 3 p.m. Tide and radar not showing a drop of rain around anywhere, and our fire danger indexes continue to rise. In fact, now in Manatee County, compared to yesterday, the forecast for the fire danger index is in the extremely high category. So it continues to rise area-wide. We'll have a complete forecast for you coming up in a few.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate. It's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
From the moment she walked in the door, we stopped having to go to the pharmacy. Certain prescriptions, my health plan or the pharmacy wasn't even able to get here. And hospice provided them, and all we had to do was call up, and the next thing they know, there was another, a delivery.
I witnessed him have 2 heart attacks in ICU. He went through seizures.
We'd much rather have Aaron like this than dead. A lot of parents don't have that luxury.
He can't talk. He can't walk.
This is a condition Aaron will live with for the rest of his life because he abused prescription pills.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
The thought of my sons growing up without me inspired me to quit smoking.
I talked to my doctors, and then I threw away all my cigarettes, ashtrays, and lighters.
I started exercising instead of smoking.
Letting my friends online know I was quitting kept me on track.
Staying away from alcohol when I was first quitting was key.
I kept on trying, learned something each time.
Do whatever it takes.
No matter how many times it takes.
We did it. You can too.
For free help, visit cdc.gov/tips.
Hi, I'm Janelle Hale, founder and CEO of the National Breast Cancer Foundation. No one should face breast cancer alone. When I was diagnosed 36 years ago, there was no internet, and I had to make a decision with little information. Early detection saved my life. It could save yours too. To learn what every woman needs to know about breast cancer, visit nbcf.org/hope.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So, we're kind of in a weather pattern here that we're stuck with for at least another 7 days. So I really don't see a whole lot of change. There'll be some slight changes coming up over the weekend. We'll talk about that in a second. But I mean slight changes. 64 degrees, the current air temperature, just about exactly where we were yesterday. Dew point value of 58, just about exactly where we were yesterday. And the east-northeast wind coming in at 8. Guess what? Just about exactly where we were yesterday. And that's going to be the case, I think, throughout the next couple of days. We're going to start the mornings off with cool and crisp and lovely. And then as we head into the afternoon, we'll see the temperatures continue to climb. By 7 a.m., 66 by noon, about 85 degrees. 3 p.m. is probably when we'll get close to maxing things out. We'll go with 87 degrees. We'll probably get pretty close to the 89 degree mark again today, most places. Even at the beaches, I think, with that strong east wind. wind, we're going to be up in the upper 80s. The only difference being that along the beaches, we'll develop a bit of a sea breeze, very shallow one that will keep the temperatures falling during the hottest part of the afternoon along the coastline, probably into the mid-80s. While inland, just really right across the bridge, you'll see those temperatures kind of hang there in the upper 80s right straight through 3, 4, 5 o'clock. 7 p.m. temperature will come in at about 82 degrees. Winds generally, again, hour by hour out of the east throughout the day today. Don't think we'll see much in the way of rainfall. Again, maybe the other coast might see an isolated shower or two. Got a few in progress down around Miami right now thanks to that easterly wind flow. I think they'll all kind of die out before we ever have a chance of seeing any of that needed rainfall in our neck of the woods, and those fire danger indexes will continue to rise. General easterly wind will push that sea breeze right out near the coastline, keep it pinned there so it really won't even be a trigger mechanism for a lot of cloud cover even. We have some rain showers back to the west. Again, the hot spot for severe weather today. Today is probably going to be the biggest severe weather day of the week, despite the fact that we had 21 reports of tornadoes yesterday in the open plains. I think today we'll have the same thing right around our area. Missouri, Kansas, all in line for a potentially really rough weather day. The low pressure area continues to move off to the north and to the east, the frontal boundary triggering off showers and thunderstorms back west. High pressure keeping that all away from us. East wind continues today. That will again provide us with a very warm afternoon. Sunshine and warm temperatures, dry straight into the weekend. And that east wind continues again today, tomorrow, the day after. We do have a little trough of low pressure, a little easterly wave that may approach by the weekend and kind of lessen that easterly flow enough that we could develop a little bit stronger sea breeze. We have across the region air quality, which looks good today. It was reported at 44 yesterday, ozone the main contributor, but still not too bad. Northeast wind this afternoon, surges in the evening. You'll probably get up to near cautionary values by the evening period. Boaters watch for that, coming in east at about 15. 7-day forecast looks like this. Today's high 88. I think tomorrow about the same, plenty of sunshine around. And then as we head into the weekend, we'll start to see a little easterly wave kind of work its way closer to the state of Florida, which will lessen the strength of that high pressure ridge, which is bringing us the easterly wind. That will allow for a sea breeze, so we'll put in that slight chance of a rain shower, mostly in inland areas, and a little bit better chance on Tuesday. But still, most of us stay dry and warm. Back to you.
All right, thanks, John. Let's take a look outside to your first alert traffic out there this morning. So far, the roads are running pretty smooth. Not too much to see out there at this hour of this morning. Starting a couple slowdowns right there on State Road 624, the farther east that you go. That's in Manatee County. A little bit farther south in the area, those roads aren't looking too bad either. Not too much to see around this hour. It's still pretty slow out there, and a little bit farther south in the area, those roads are looking pretty decent out there too. It is 5:18, and that is your first alert traffic. Now to some new information this morning in the Russia investigation. The latest, will President Trump be subpoenaed to answer questions?
ABC's Serena Marshall has all the new details.
A possible face-off brewing between the president and the special counsel. Robert Mueller telling Mr. Trump's legal team that he can compel him to testify if the president declined a request for an interview. First reported by the Washington Post and confirmed by ABC News, Mueller told Mr. Trump's legal team after months of negotiations he could potentially seek a grand jury subpoena in the investigation the president has continually slammed.
Russian collusion. Give me a break.
The news comes a day after the president called the list of nearly 50 possible questions Mueller has for President Trump a disgraceful leak, even though it was his own defense team, Jay Sekulow, who created the list.
They met with Mueller's investigators, and they went through subject after subject after subject they wanted to ask about. And what the president's lawyers did is they wrote down all of these things, and they came up with these 49 questions.
The White House deflecting questions.
I would refer you to the president's outside personal attorneys.
As the president's former national security advisor, Michael Flynn, appears to still be cooperating with investigators. In court, they requested 2 more months before sentencing Flynn for lying to the FBI. Meanwhile, Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein, who appointed the special counsel, promising
the Department of Justice is not going to be extorted.
After House Republicans drafted articles of impeachment against him. Now, if a subpoena is issued, the president's legal team would face an uphill battle trying to block it. In the past, the Supreme Court ruled unanimously that a subpoena issued as part of a pending criminal prosecution does overcome executive privilege. The president's legal team and the special counsel's office have declined to comment. Serena Marshall, ABC News, Washington.
Still to come on Good Morning Suncoast, Facebook is changing some of their privacy settings. You're going to like this. What you're going to be able to do now to help keep your identity safe.
And we can continue to track some breaking news right now going on in Newtown. An argument led to a shooting. Sarasota police are on the scene. This is at 19th and Central. Happened about 3 o'clock this morning. We have a news crew on the scene. More details on the way on Good Morning Suncoast.
There was this big bruise on my friend's face. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to think her own nephew could have hit her.
I didn't want to see it. My mother's bank account was emptied, and a caregiver had taken control of it.
I didn't want to see it. My father's refrigerator. There was hardly anything in it. That's unusual for him.
It's tough to see that a senior citizen is being abused, physically, emotionally, sexually, or financially. Elder abuse is a crime.
So see the signs. Stop the crimes.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Prescription drugs aren't as bad as street drugs, right?
Weed's legal, isn't it?
Drinking is worse than smoking weed.
Isn't it? Why is
heroin so addictive?
Molly just makes you feel happy. I have questions.
Mom?
Dad, did you ever try drugs?
They're going to ask. Be ready. Go to drugfree.org. A message from Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
We are problem solvers striving for answers. Relevancy on every platform. We are driven to create content that's compelling, engaging, where it matters. We are neighbors that care about solutions, believers in making a difference, leaders, innovating in an exciting era of multimedia, reaching to always be the gold standard in our evolving landscape. We are Raycom Media. Find your opportunity today.
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
30. 78.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
The only one that I didn't say was, how did this end up with? Welcome back. You are looking live at the Rosemary District out there. It is another beautiful day, going to be high into the 80s again this morning. I think it's going to be a good one out there. And moving on, some new developments this morning. The FAA is requiring additional engine inspections in the wake of the deadly Southwest Airlines engine incident that happened last month. The directive comes in the wake of last month's catastrophic engine failure on Southwest Flight 1380. Now, back on April the 17th, one person died after the plane lost the fan blade in its left engine midair. The federal agency says it is concerned engines like the one used on that flight could suffer a similar malfunction. The action will then be followed by future periodic inspections.
New developments now in the United Airlines policy on flying with certain pets. The airline has a number of deaths on board involving pets, but they say it's due to their less restrictive policies than other airlines. So they're changing which type of pets could be allowed. Among the newly banned breeds are short-nosed dogs like pugs and French bulldogs, also pit bulls and mastiffs. The airline says those breeds are prone to adverse health risks.
And some incredible video to share all the way from Kansas. As you can see, it's video of, well, they're saying possible tornado, but this really looks like a tornado touching down north of Salina last night. A local television station was tracking a storm cell in central Kansas when this twister just seemed to pop up. Now, no word yet at this time of any damage or any injuries.
A lot of cameras out there catching those things these days.
And that's really like the hub of where all the storm hunters go to, all the storm chasers that get out there.
That's right.
Well, not only is Facebook announcing a new dating service on the site, but they've also announced some much needed new security features to help keep users' information safe going forward.
Details in today's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, Facebook's new security feature.
The company says it'll begin telling users which websites track them across the web, and it will soon give us a new feature called Clear History that will enable users to wipe out that personal browsing data. Meanwhile, Facebook has also announced it's launching an online dating service.
Yeah, users can set up a dating profile which won't be visible to friends and will not appear in news feeds. No word when it'll launch. By the way, stock for the parent company of Tinder and OkCupid as well as Match plunged on the news. Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos revealing his unique approach to meetings.
He doesn't allow PowerPoint presentations. Bezos also doesn't like meetings with a lot of people. So he uses the 2-pizza rule. If 2 pizzas can't feed everyone in the room, he's not coming.
Well, 1 pizza
Can I have the extra pizza?
Those are your Tech Bites.
Have a great day.
Tech Bites, sponsored by Anoro.
COPD makes it hard to breathe. So to breathe better, I go with Anoro.
COPD tries to say, go this way. I say I'll go my own way with Anoro.
Once Daily Anoro contains 2 medicines called bronchodilators that work together to significantly improve lung function all day and all night. Anoro is not for asthma. It contains a type of medicine that increases risk of death in people with asthma. The risk is unknown in COPD. Anoro won't replace rescue inhalers for sudden symptoms and should not be used more than once a day. Tell your doctor if you have a heart condition, high blood pressure, glaucoma, prostate, bladder, or urinary problems. These may worsen with Anoro. Call your doctor if you have worsened breathing, chest pain, mouth or tongue swelling, problems urinating, vision changes, or eye pain while taking Anoro.
Ask your doctor about Anoro.
Get your first prescription free at Anoro.com.
Who else has been taking your prescriptions? Keep your medicine and your family safe and secure. Mind your meds. To learn how we can help, visit the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids at drugfree.org.
Ever since I can remember, I've been intrigued by industrial design and the optimization.
Wait, that's passion? Ever since I can remember, my passion has been industrial design. We need 3D printers for Miss Adams' engineering program so that we are ready to solve 21st century challenges.
Impressive. Think It Up is a new initiative to support student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classroom today? Think It Up.
My name is Julius. I have cerebral palsy. I work for Farmer Jeffrey Weising Law Firm. I do a lot of data entry and scanning documents. I want to increase my working experience to make the company much better. At the end of the day, it's good to think of the day's work and to think about what I have accomplished.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish.
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Stay connected to your clients and new customers using ABC7 Digital Media Services. Our team of professionals provide a wide array of digital services to help you get the most out of your website. We specialize in building and helping you maintain the most effective digital solutions for your business. It's vital that your online presence stands out, so our experts will equip you with the best resources available. Trust ABC7 Digital Media Services to give you the right tools to grow your business. You now have the power to prioritize your Facebook feed and get local news and information from the team you trust. Go to the ABC7 Sarasota page on Facebook. Give us a like, then click following and choose See First. That's it. Customize even more by choosing notifications. Choose breaking news, posts, live videos, anything you want to see in real time. Take control of your newsfeed and stay connected to what's happening in your community with ABC7 on Facebook. ABC7 is the most watched, most trusted news source on the Suncoast, and we owe it all to you, our loyal viewers. Thank you for making us #1. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5:30.
Good morning, it's Wednesday. I'm Ray Collins.
And I'm Stephanie Webb. Thanks for joining us this morning.
We are tracking some breaking news in Newtown at 19th and Central. Some shots rang out about 3 a.m., police say. We have a crew live on the scene right now.
Right now, police are saying in Sarasota that the argument escalated to gunshots overnight in Newtown. As we mentioned, ABC's Marla Spence has been out there all morning long. Marla, what do you know at this hour?
Good morning, guys. Crime scene unit is on scene right now with Sarasota police, and they're investigating a shooting that happened at this home where you see investigators this morning after an altercation and an argument started and led to that shooting. Now, right now, like I said, investigators are on scene. Just minutes ago, investigators pulled out what seemed to be a metal detector. We're not too sure if they're looking for bullets or the gun used in that shooting. Right now, information is very limited at the moment. What we do know is that the victim and the shooter knows each other, and right now the victim is in the hospital, and there's no word yet if there's been an arrest or if police are still searching for the shooter this morning. Now, like I said, this is a very limited information this morning and a developing story. So once we learn more on this investigation, we will bring you the latest. Reporting live in Sarasota, I'm Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, thank you, Marla. And of course, if you have the ABC 7 app, you're going to be able to see all the new updates and all the developments in this story as the morning unfolds.
And now for the first alert forecast. Here he is, folks, meteorologist John Scalzi.
Yeah, warm again today, you guys. We hit 89 degrees again yesterday, which is very warm for this time of year. Records a little bit cooler yesterday than they had been the previous days. 92 was the record. So we didn't quite hit the record, but we were much closer to a record than we were to the average temperature for this time of year. So I think that'll be the case again today. Today's record, also 92, will be closer to that than the average. Cooper in central Sarasota, our youngest weather watcher, 66 degrees. Becky in Old Myakka, a generally cooler spot, comes in with 53. That's a lovely temperature. Not seeing much in the way of any kind of rise in dew points either over the last 24 hours, so the air is still very dry and crisp and feels good. A little bit of rain shower activity down in the southern tip of the state. That's where it's going to stay. We won't see any rain showers across our region. Satellite view shows plenty of sunshine to start the day. Temperatures are right now in the upper 60s to mid 60s close to the coast, and then inland temperatures are in the lower 60s, generally speaking. We'll have the complete forecast for you coming up in just a minute.
All right, talk to you soon. Thank you, John. Checking first alert traffic right now. Nothing to report so far today in Manatee County. We'll track that throughout the morning, though. That'll change as the commute begins in earnest. Checking the upper half of Sarasota County now. All right, 5:32. Let's get back to the news.
The Department of Agriculture is approving millions to help Florida citrus farmers recover from Hurricane Irma. This $340 million grant coming in 8 months after the hurricane, which the USDA says caused almost $3 billion in damages. Now, that money's going to help citrus growers plant some new trees, replace their damaged irrigation, and then also make up for losses expected over the next 2 years. And this morning, police are asking for the public's help in finding a man accused of attacking several women in South Florida recently.
One woman escaped, but with the attacker still on the loose, she's afraid to leave the house. Reporter Katrina Bush has the story.
Very scared. I'm still scared, very. I can't even sleep at night.
This victim is too shaken up to show her face after fighting off danger at her own doorstep.
It was so fast, and even have time to think.
She's describing the terrifying moment she was attacked in front of her home by a man police describe as armed and dangerous. Police say that's 34-year-old Tavares Canty, wanted for attempted kidnapping and sexual battery. Seen here trying to force his way inside that woman's Little Haiti home Thursday morning. And after a struggle, the 29-year-old gets away unharmed.
Very lucky, very lucky.
Unfortunately, another woman would also become a victim. About an hour after this struggle, police say Canty broke into a nearby home and sexually assaulted the woman inside at gunpoint, leaving the area after the attack on a bike.
He is very violent. He has numerous previous charges of robbery, burglary, weapons possession, and we do know that he was armed in this sexual assault.
And while police continue to search, this woman who says she's too afraid to leave the house is asking anyone with information to come forward.
Please call the police not to me to try to sleep at night, but for every girl around here, for every woman, for everybody that is around here, that is scared, because I believe that he's still around.
Officials are offering a $3,000 reward for any information leading to that suspect's arrest.
Special counsel Robert Mueller's office wants 2 more months before former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn is sentenced. Flynn pleaded guilty 5 months ago to making false statements to the FBI. He is now cooperating in the Russian probe. Mueller's prosecutors and Flynn's lawyers told a D.C. federal court the matter isn't ready yet for sentencing. Prosecutors have delayed scheduling before. They'll give an answer by June 29th.
In this hour's Health Smart, it is a topic that's never easy to talk about, even with your doctor. We're talking STDs, and many head online for testing kits in order to be discreet.
But if you go online, you can find plenty of home kits, but what you get may not be a foolproof way to test. Right now, you're taking a look at more conventional testing methods like they use at this health department. But if you go online, you can find more than a dozen home products. Those include boxes like Everlywell and My Lab Box. All you have to do is buy the kits, perform the tests, and then send them off to a lab for testing. Many of the kits are regulated by the FDA, which does raise concern with some medical providers.
If you were able to do it in your own home, it does certainly lessen the stigma. We have been working in public health for decades to reduce the stigma associated with STD, and I think we do a great job of that. But if that's something you want to do in your own home, I understand that, but I want people to understand also that it's important that if it were to come out positive, they would need to come have treatment. Just getting the test results alone is not enough.
The kits can range really from $100 to $400, so they really aren't cheap. Happening today, a new Mid-County Service Center for the Tax Collector's Office. They're going to have a ribbon cutting at 9 o'clock this morning. This new service center will replace the driver's license office at 601 South Pompano Avenue. It's by the fairgrounds in Sarasota. This new location will feature a closed course for driver's license road tests, allow drivers to demonstrate their driving competence under safe and controlled conditions as well.
And finally, go Bolts. The Lightning are in Boston today, where they're going to be taking on the Bruins in Game 3 in the NHL playoffs tonight. Now, the Bolts need a big on-the-road win tonight. They need to do it. Of course, tonight's game and playoff game number 4 are both going to be on the road there in Boston. Now, if they pull off the win on both of these games, they're going to head back to Tampa later on this week. And tonight, there is an official Lightning watch party in downtown Tampa if you feel like making that road trip. They're watching on big full screens right in downtown Tampa. It's pretty cool.
The Bruins look so good in that first game.
I know. This is like a more formidable matchup, I think, than even the Devils. So
I know.
It's good.
I wish the Leafs had beat the Bruins, and the Leafs were playing us right now.
I like where you're going with that.
Too late, though.
I know.
5:37. Latest and first alert traffic ahead.
And did you know that tracking someone with a GPS without their permission isn't actually illegal in some cases? Well, we have got that story for you straight ahead of why one court isn't declaring it a crime.
And we are tracking something else, some breaking news right now in Newtown. This is at the scene of 19th and Central. This is a live shot of the crime scene technicians entering a house right there. A shooting happened about 3 o'clock that they say came after an argument of some sort. We've got a crew live on the scene. Update shortly. First, let's get today's forecast from meteorologist John Scalzi.
So we're looking at some very quiet weather again this morning. None of the inclement weather boxes checked for your morning drive time commute. The forecast looks good with temperatures as you leave the house in the low 70s and then when you return home in the mid 80s. Again today, all airport hubs serving Sarasota International Airport running on time according to the FAA. We'll have the complete forecast in a second.
Judy here, I think hospice was a tremendous source of support for her.
Absolutely. With Jennifer and Kimberly and Liza's constant contact with us, coming in, just knowing that there was someone with knowledge there to back us up, to answer our questions, it made a world of difference.
Want the latest weather and traffic conditions wherever you go? Introducing ABC7's revolutionary new First Alert weather app. With our state-of-the-art new weather app, you get up-to-the-minute weather alerts, interactive radar maps, current conditions, 10-day forecasts, real-time traffic maps, and weather video from ABC7, all at your fingertips. And it's free. Just search Suncoast WX in the App Store and download onto all your devices today. Sponsored by Mr. Sparky.
Everything all right? Actually, you know how Tom had knee surgery? Sure. We found out Brad's been taking his painkillers. And it turns out he's been doing it for a while.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
When ABC7 declares a First Alert Weather Day, it means we can expect major changes to weather conditions here along the Suncoast.
It means there could be severe, potentially dangerous weather ahead.
We tell you when a First Alert Weather Day is coming because we want you to be prepared.
A First Alert Weather Day is an advance warning. We'll let you know about any changes in the weather when the first signs appear.
ABC7 First Alert Weather, we're here for you.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. You're gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Go, okay, good. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. We're getting so wet.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard live up to a set of time-honored principles.
I will always place the mission first.
They stand ready to respond to any crisis.
I will never accept defeat.
They serve in their communities as citizens and as soldiers.
I will never quit.
They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times.
I will never leave a fallen comrade.
Learn more at nationalguard.com.
My name is Haley. I have Fragile X syndrome. I work with Chartwells at Einstein's and FAU. I like being up front and interacting with students. The students are very nice and very hungry. Having a job is a big ticket for independence.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Now your ABC7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So again this morning we're looking at a dew point value of 58, which is extremely comfortable. So with an air temperature of 64 and that dew point, we get an 80% relative humidity, and it's a cool, crisp, lovely start to the morning. Not quite a full moon out there, but still a very beautiful sky, lots of starshine, and not much in the way of any kind of cloud cover across the region. An indication that dawn will be breaking with lots of sunshine, and that will heat us up again today to an afternoon high very similar to yesterday. East-northeast wind continues at about 8, similar to yesterday at this hour. And as we head into the 9 o'clock time frame, probably around 72 degrees, heading into lunch about 85. Top it out today with temperatures in the upper 80s. Once again, we'll go with 87 by 3 p.m. We'll probably have a daytime high of around 89 once again. And then this evening, temperatures falling off into the lower 80s. A little bit of a breeze this evening, coming in a little bit stronger perhaps, and small craft might have to exercise some caution on our area waterways this evening as we get a bit of a wind surge. So an easterly flow throughout the day today keeps the sea breeze pinned very close to the coastline, so most everybody has kind of a uniform temperature structure, except right along the barrier islands where you'll pick up a very, very shallow sea breeze possibly, and that will keep your temperatures, well, you'll probably top it off about where everybody else does, but then you'll rapidly decrease. Yesterday, Holmes Beach at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, when they hit their daytime high temperature near 90, within 45 minutes, they dropped 5 degrees as they developed a little bit more of a westerly wind flow. None of us did who lived on the mainland, and that'll be the case again this afternoon. If few scattered showers over on the other coast. They never make it to our area. All die out before that happens. Otherwise, we look for daytime temperatures that, again, reflective of yesterday, and morning lows tomorrow that'll be similar to what they are right now. Scattered showers and thunderstorms build into a severe weather event again today. Missouri, Kansas City, all seeing the potential of some strong weather once again. In fact, it's the highest risk today that it ever has been. I'm sure it'll be a very active weather day in the Central Plains. The low pressure area kind of very slowly meanders along. It's really cut off from the upper level flow. And the combination of this warm, moist air lifting up out of the Gulf of Mexico and cold air back behind this low is what's going to trigger off those showers and thunderstorms again today, while we enjoy a continuation of that high pressure ridge, sinking air, easterly wind, and little in the way of any kind of a rain chance, although we could use it as our drought indexes continue to rise. Sunny and warm today, dry straight into the weekend, and that east wind continuing. Now, as we head into the weekend, that high pressure ridge, which has been providing us with this easterly wind flow and very fair weather, will weaken just a little bit as a little trough of low pressure down toward the Bahamas begins to advance toward the state of Florida. As that happens, this easterly flow may relax a little bit. We may see that sea breeze just a tad bit stronger, little increase in moisture. All those things may add to slightest little rain chances, particularly in inland areas, starting on about Saturday, particularly on Monday and Tuesday of next week. Titan radar quiet right now across the entire state. Don't expect rains today. Drought index continues to rise. And then back to the west, we continue to watch already at this hour kind of an active weather pattern beginning to develop with a bow echo, looks like, starting to develop near Kansas City. So there could be some fairly strong wind action out there this morning. For boaters today, northeast wind increases during the evening hours. Don't be caught by surprise by that. It could get kind of breezy out there. Moderate chop anticipated, though, for most of the day. 88 today, tomorrow the same. We'll look for similar conditions on Friday. For the next 3 days, just repeating what we saw yesterday, which is basically daytime highs warm and rain-free, low humidity skies. Saturday will put in that slight chance of a shower as we weaken that high pressure ridge, and then as we head into next week, perhaps slightly better chances on Tuesday with increased low level humidity and some slightly cooler temperatures. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Josh. Take a look outside to first alert traffic out there this morning in Manatee County. The roads are still looking pretty decent if you're coming over to those bridges into Bradenton. No real traffic or congestion too much just yet. A little slowdown right there on State Road 70. Heading into Sarasota County, those roads aren't looking too bad. Everything's running pretty normal for around this time of the morning. Just a couple slowdowns right there on the hot spots like University Parkway. If you're heading a little bit farther south into the area, those roads, both 75 and 41 going south, are looking pretty decent. It is 5:47. And that is your first alert traffic. Well, speaking of driving, imagine finding a GPS tracking device on your car. You didn't put it there. Ray Collins didn't put it there. No. And you didn't give anyone else permission to put it there.
It happened to one Massachusetts couple, and so far, surprisingly, courts have ruled it's not illegal. Reporter Jacob Long has the story.
My name is James Daly. It is May 15th. 2016.
It's a disturbing discovery, all caught on camera.
I inspected my car and I found this. Like, I was completely dumbfounded. Like most Americans, I had no idea about the technology.
In 2016, James Daly of Hingham says these GPS tracking devices were found on his car and his wife's car, but they were clueless as to how they got there and why.
I think the hardest part of this is we still to this day don't know, and we don't get answers because people aren't being held accountable.
Investigators were eventually able to locate the owner of the devices, who they say tracked the couple to at least 17 different locations, including out of state.
He constantly logged in, looked and see where we were, Googled those coordinates.
Prosecutors have pursued criminal charges, arguing in part the defendant intended to target the victim with harassing conduct or speech or a series of acts.
Everywhere we went, we kept looking around and triple checking our doors are locked. Like, makes you paranoid.
But the lower courts have continued to side with the defense, who says the placement of a GPS device has not been proscribed by statute and therefore does not qualify as harassment. So now, as the case heads to the state's highest court, Daly's hoping for a ruling that'll send a message.
Somebody has has to realize that it's not okay. Just because it's not a law now doesn't mean that it shouldn't be.
So the Massachusetts Supreme Court will hear the case this fall. In consumer news this morning, if you're feeling a bit overwhelmed by all of your expenses, it might be time to make a few changes. Done properly, managing expenses can actually win you financial freedom. One of the first steps is to focus on maximizing cash flow, not just trying to pay off your loans. You can start by putting your expenses into one of 4 categories. Lifestyle expenses are dining out, vacations, and they need to be managed wisely. Protective expenses are your various insurance policies and even emergency savings. The last category is the one that causes the problems. It's destructive expenses. These are the ones that subtract value from your life. It's everything from consumer debt to overdraft fees and even that pricey gym membership that, Stephanie, that you don't use anymore.
Busted. Well, just days after becoming a big sister, Princess Charlotte will celebrate her 3rd birthday later on today. The princess is 4th in line to the throne. Her younger brother, Prince Louis, was born on April the 23rd, of course, at a London hospital. Now, he just had a special visitor yesterday. The Queen herself arrived at Kensington Palace by helicopter to finally meet the new prince. And he is the biggest royal baby born on record in the last, I believe it's like 30 or 40 years.
How big?
8 pounds, just over 8 pounds. But that's one of the bigger royal babies.
That is, wow, I was 8'7". What were you?
I was 6 pounds.
Oh,
but I
figures.
gave birth to 8-pound babies, so somehow that evens out.
All right. 10 to 6 right now. I'll update the day's top news headlines after this.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
The skills you develop as a soldier in the Army National Guard can give you a head start on your career. Gain practical experience with technology and equipment that will give you a leg up in the civilian world. Learn critical leadership skills and to be part of a team. Serve your community and your country part-time while earning money for an education. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn about the paid training and career opportunities available to you in the Army National Guard.
My name is Luke Perry, and I am 1 million strong. I'm in the fight against colorectal cancer because I believe we can win it. Colon and rectal cancers are the 2nd leading cause of cancer deaths among men and women in the U.S. Colon cancer is preventable. Know the risk factors and make sure to get screened. There are simple, take-home options available. Take control of your health. Screening for colon cancer isn't embarrassing. It can be life-saving. To find out more about your options, visit fightcrc.org.
We answered the call of duty and left our homes to serve in far-off lands. Now we answer another call, this time at home, in our own communities, to respond in times of chaos, to use our strength, our skills, and our experiences to bring hope amid devastation and destruction. Together, as a team of brothers and sisters, we're continuing our mission to make this country a little stronger and a little better each day. We are Team Rubicon.
My name is Stephen Jaffe. The law firm's name is Farmer Jaffe. One of the beautiful things about Julius is he's always smiling, and it becomes infectious. The fact that Julius has a disability has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of work that he's done. Just a great person you want on your staff.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
For more than 100 years, American Humane Association has been teaching kids to be kind to animals. Those in our homes, on the farms, on the silver screen, and wildlife conservation, caring for the world's vanishing creatures. But we can't do it alone. Visit kindness100.org to find ways to teach kids how they can make a more caring, compassionate, and humane world for all of us.
All of a sudden we heard some kind of explosion.
Watch Good Morning Suncoast, weekdays on ABC 7.
There are 2 alarm fire that our Marla Spence was called out on.
Crews are still on scene. We're going to continue to work on this story and find out more on what causes fire.
Weekdays starting at 5 a.m.
Welcome back to Good Morning Suncoast. Here are some of the top stories that we're following for you here today.
One of the men in that infamous shark dragging video from last year is no longer facing charges. Spencer Heinz's lawyers convinced the judge his client was on the boat but was not involved in the actual shark dragging. 2 others are still facing charges of animal cruelty. All 3 men are from Manatee County.
Plus, go Bolts. They're on the road tonight in Boston. They're taking on the Bruins in Game 3 of Round 2 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. The next 2 are going to be in Boston tonight, tomorrow night, and then later on this week they'll be back in Tampa.
President Trump will make his first visit to the State Department today. He is going to watch the swearing in of his Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, at 11 a.m. We are watching some breaking news right now in the Newtown area. An argument escalated to a gunshot, at least one gunshot in Newtown around 3 o'clock this morning. Police are on the scene. So too is our news crew. We'll update this story in a matter of minutes here on Good Morning Suncoast.
And right now, a look at today's forecast from John Scalzi.
So we're looking at temperatures that's starting off the morning about where we did yesterday in the 60s with some very dry air in place, making it feel comfortable. As we head into the afternoon, temperatures will continue to rise under full sunshine to about 87 degrees by 3, top it out at about 89. Allergy forecast again today calls for kind of a moderate amount of pollen, 5.5 on the scale to 10, and tomorrow will probably be just a little bit lower, so that's not too terribly bad. And the red tide index again shows all area beaches free of red tide for today, and a strong easterly wind flow will prevail. Beach forecast for the evening calls for nice conditions, breezy, sunny, absolutely gorgeous. 4 beach balls out of 4 once again today. Your complete forecast coming up in a few.
Thank you, Johnson. This is how our days are so different. I come back from breakfast yesterday, and this one says, hey, let's go meet Tony Danza.
Yeah, right? Because he just happens to be right in our station.
He was.
He was. It was very cool. He was actually on Suncoast View yesterday. You're going to be able to see their exclusive interview this morning at 9 o'clock, and we'll show you a picture with him next hour. I was like so in awe. I grew up watching Who's the Boss, which you don't say because then it would make him feel old. So that was very nice.
He was very nice. We've got pictures on our respective Facebook pages as well. You can check that out right now. Ray Collins, ABC 7. So ABC 7. We'll see you in 2 minutes with more details about that breaking news we're tracking right now in Newtown. Stay with us.